What's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers live on Thursday afternoon. It is a gorgeous day outside. Hopefully, you are enjoying the weather that we have, especially coming up this weekend. But last night, we had a 1-1 night with the guys having a little bit of a Splitsville. The Rangers, yeah, they struggled to score because they did not. So they helped us on the under in the first period, but then it screwed us for Parmigiani, whatever the hell his name is. He didn't get an assist, but we move on. Hopefully, we have another 2-0 day. That's what we've been doing the last two Thursdays, Robbie and I. And I see we have plays on the NFL game that we're going to break down right at the top. That is between the Falcons and the Buccaneers. And we'll see. Do we get a little bounce back Baker tonight? And then we'll get into our plays, as I said earlier, and then also some little prime time pay dirt as we share who we think gets into the end zone. And I'm curious if we're on the same guy, because if we're not, it's going to ruffle the feathers of my guy who's here with me, and that is Robbie Hockey. What up, man?
What is up, DG? Yeah, the Rangers forgot they were on the road and not at home last night. So they call Panarin the bread man. He's now the bum-ass man to me because he absolutely sucks. I did have a good night, though. Mark wasn't lying. I had a great night in hockey. It just happened to be the one dud ass I put on the show was Panarin. Never again.
That's how we feel about Mark on the show. Just a dud ass. You know what I mean? No, we love Mark for sure, but he is not on the show, so he catches all the strays. For sure. But everybody is filing in, and we appreciate everybody hanging out with us and having a good afternoon. Hopefully we'll be the best part of your day. So let's go ahead and get into the game. We have, honestly, the Bucks are welcoming in now. So welcoming in whoever I just said, the Falcons. Practically forgot about them, as they should be. Him and Kirk Cousins. But 4.5. I'm curious how you feel about that line. I know you're not more of the sides or the totals guy, but that 4.5, if you were to play it, it scares me.
It scares me too, especially with a Baker Mayfield who's still not 100%. And it's his shoulder. It's not like it's his shoulder. Yeah. It's his throwing shoulder as well, right? So that scares me. But he is getting a full arsenal of weapons back tonight. Yeah. So that's why the line is what it is. Because even if Evans and McLaughlin doesn't do anything, you still have to account for them.
Yeah, well, the creamsicles are coming back tonight, which is one of my favorite jerseys. But the total has been around 43.5. Is getting all the weapons back going to help that total, help that soar over?
I see. The thing is, with Baker being banged up, I think if the Falcons do get maybe out to like a 14-point lead, it might just be the Bucky Irving, Rachaad White show at that point to take a lot of the pressure off of Baker. Okay. So even that kind of scares me. And as we've seen, the Falcons can't score anyway. So that would scare me a little bit playing the over.
Yeah, me as well. Let's talk about the positions, though. We have the wide receiver. They're all coming back, right? We have Chris Godwin, who's now playing, I believe, his third game in a row. Emeka Egbuka, who's completely hit the wall, and we're not sure if he can get over the wall at this point because it's a rookie slump. And I get it. He's been honestly great for this team the entire season. But now we get Mike Evans back. Do you think that Mike actually is fully healthy, ready to go, vintage Mike Evans, or is he still working his way back?
Hamstring injuries are always tricky, and that's been Mike's problem. He's had a lot of injuries to his hamstring, so I wouldn't say he's 100%. I would probably guess it around 65, 70. But like I said earlier, his presence is going to be enough, and he's dominated the Falcons. My God, when you look back at his history against Atlanta, absolutely dominates them. So they're going to have to account for him. I don't think he's fully 100%, though.
Yeah, and that's the issue is, like, how do you bet on him? And if you look at his numbers just overall, like, they're not gaudy, right? They're not just jumping off like, oh my God, these are huge, but he's wide receiver number one. His receiving yards are 39.5. Receptions are at 3.5. So you're looking at just having 4 receptions. Do you think that either one of those, because neither one of us are on Mike Evans, do you think that those have a good look? Would you maybe tackle those as a live look, depending on how he looks early on? Because I would assume they're going to try to get him involved early in the game.
Yeah, Definitely a live look for receiving yards. I would wait to just see how he looks. If you're building like a parlay, you have a boost or something, I would probably tease down his receptions to 3 because I think that's the more obtainable thing that he can get would be the receptions. So if you're building a parlay, I wouldn't mind playing 3+ receptions for Mike Evans.
Yeah, and that's a good look. I'm just not sure what you can pair that with. One thing I do love is, Mark has here is Baker going over the 20.5 rushing yards. He's given this away. I put this out on the site this morning, justthatsports.com. Use the code DATA100 for half off on the first month, but I put it out at 18.5. So Mark got the worst number. I get it. Like, he's not as fast as me. But if you want this, I gave it away on another show this morning, but I'm giving it away again. 18.5, 20.5. I think Baker runs, Twinkle Toes runs crazy tonight. Just because if you look at the way the Falcons play, they want to get in the back of into the backfield, right? They want to get to the quarterback, and that's going to flush them out. And so I think he does run again, just as Justin Herbert did, as we called that game. But let's look at the other side, because we do want to look and make sure that we're on both sides of the ball. Kirk Cousins, can he just not suck for one game?
Well, it's prime time too, right? So so it's not going to be any better because it's in prime time. Yeah, and they have nobody to throw to. London's out. You got Darnell Mooney, and when Darnell Mooney's your number one wide receiver, you don't have a number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts is great. I love Kyle Pitts, but he's too inconsistent. So he's not anybody that you can really trust either. Basically, for me, it's Bijan and it's Algier. And that would be maybe the only two ways I would look at that offense. I think Bijan's receiving line may be something to look at because he's definitely good at catching and going. Tyler Algier, you could probably bet for a touchdown because that dude somehow always seems to find the end zone, no matter who the coach is or who they're playing.
Yeah, and I look at you brought up a guy in Kyle Pitts. I looked at his numbers with and without Drake London. With Drake London, he's 5.9 targets to 8 targets a game when he's not in the game. And then that jumps the same thing up. Almost 2 full more receptions without Drake London. 23 plus yards receiving when he's without Drake London. And then the longest catch is 25.5 is without. So like, that's a big number, a big jump when we're not having Drake London in the game. But I also want to bring up the fact that we do have Kirk Cousins there. It is an interception. It is prime time for Mr. Kirk Cousins. So looking at the numbers just overall, I'm looking at his interception in the last 10 games in prime time. What do you think he's in the last 10 games? How many times do you think he's had one or more interceptions?
In 8 of his last 10.
That is correct. 8 of his last 10. I think you somehow saw that somewhere because minus 122. That's it.
Oh,
is it?
That's yes.
Okay.
It's 100% word because there's nobody to throw to either. So you're going to have terrible routes. Like I said, Mooney's your only guy. And after him, you're looking at guys. Let's see. David Sills, the 5th or 4th. Okay. Dylan Drummond. These are guys I've heard of Sills, but I've never heard of Dylan Drummond. Like, apparently he had 3 catches for 21 yards last week. But
I don't believe you.
No. And Pitts, on the other side, when you look at Pitts, you got to look at what Tampa does against the tight ends. They're not allowing a lot to the tight end.
Right.
Trey McBride, which is a unicorn tight end, is the only one who's really dominated them this season. So, Pitts is a complete stay away from me, even without Drake London.
Yeah, I stay away from Pitts as well. And you'll see who we're on here in just a second. We're on one player from each side, which is nice to give a little sprinkle around and keep everything just kind of average, to keep it at bay. We'll kind of let you know what we're playing here in a second. But if you had to give a prediction, who in the world wins this game? Is it just so easy that Tampa has to win and they end up pulling this thing out?
You would think, but Thursday night has always been so tricky, and it's not a layup as you think.
Right.
It's a layup you're about to hit, and then Shaq blocks your shot, and it's not any good. Right. I mean, Tampa. Yeah, give me Tampa. I'm shocked it's only minus 225, honestly, right now for Tampa to win. Seems like a pretty low number for them. But, it's Tampa. It's got to be.
I think it is, too. I think the Falcons are good enough to hang in there. Cheesy likes them at plus 5.5. I think you can look at that number and feel good that getting points, especially against a team that in the Bucs who aren't good. They're kind of reeling a little bit since their bye week in week 8. I'm pretty sure that you could feel good about the Falcons, but then we have Kirk Cousins in prime time, and he's always going to throw an interception somehow, some way. And so I'm curious of how all this plays out. Should be a fun game. I'm excited to watch it. It should be, all in all, a decent game that we'll be able to really, truly enjoy. I don't think this is going to be a dud at all. I think there's enough firepower on both sides to keep this thing going.
Well, and two, they're going to look just like the Rangers did last night. They're going to look good on TV. You got the black unis for Atlanta. You got the creamsicle for Tampa Bay. So maybe Atlanta doesn't pull a New York Rangers and they actually show up in their uniforms. Oh, right. Boy, I'm still pissed about that game.
All right, well, it's time to go ahead and get to our wagers. So let's hear from our guy, Seabass.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's gonna turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't-miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
Well, I can tell you who we're not fading tonight, and that is Chris Godwin. I am taking him at 40-plus receiving yards at minus 109. Saw 30 routes last week. He's definitely back in the fold, back in the swing of things. He had 5 receptions on 8 targets, going for 55 yards against New Orleans. Baker, as we said, is clearly dealing with a shoulder injury. So I think your short, intermediate routes, I think Chris Godwin's going to go over the middle a lot. The Falcons absolutely suck against the middle. And then Mike Evans and Jalen McLaughlin coming back tonight. Are they decoys? Are they going to be good? Who knows? But Atlanta's going to have to take up for that. And they also have a guy named Emeka Egbuka, who, yes, he's hit his rookie wall. And it was really hard trying to pick between Godwin and Egbuka because I think one of these guys are going to go off. I'm going to go with the seasoned vet, the guy who came back into the fold the last 2 games. I think Godwin's line is too low. I would almost play this up to 45 because I can just see him going over the middle. And I see him breaking off a big one tonight. So give me Chris Godwin, 40-plus receiving yards at minus 109.
I like Chris Godwin stay hot. He's played well here recently, and even Big Cheesy likes him to go over, especially his receiving number tonight. I'm sorry, his reception. So go play the over 3.5. Little synergy there with our guy, Robbie Hockey. But I'm going Bijan Robinson. Over 37.5 receiving yards. It's at minus 115. Honestly, the Bucs are really good against the run. I don't think they're going to get out running a lot. But Bijan, he just had 4 receptions for 100 receiving yards earlier this season against this same Bucs team. I expect him to play well. I expect him to get off to a hot start. What we're going to see is more and more get comfortable is Cousins and Bijan Robinson to make sure out of the backfield, if you're not running the ball, you dump off and let him get athletic on the outside. And so I really do like Bijan Robinson to run crazy tonight, but it's going to be through the air after his catches. And so we'll see a good game out of Bijan Robinson, and hopefully we see a good game out of Chris Godwin as well. Do you like that over 3.5 receptions for Chris Godwin?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that look because, like I was saying, you're going to see him do those intermediate short routes. I think he's going to get a lot of volume tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and keep those rolling, and let's go ahead and get to what we call here as the prime time pay dirt. So let's see who gets into the end zone tonight. All right. We have Bijan Robinson, who we've already talked about, minus 115. It wasn't that long of odds, so I felt like I should go ahead and put it up here. Tyler Algier, plus 240. Kyle Pitts, plus 240. Right. Those are decent names, but that's it. That's all they got after those 3. I had to figure out who I put up on this graphic. We have Bucky Irvin at plus 125, Mike Evans at plus 175, and then Emeka Egbuka for plus 190. All right, Rob, where are you going?
Yeah, Bijan seems like a trap. Minus 115 for Bijan seems like a trap. Not touching that. I'm going off the board, DG. I'm going to take Chris Godwin at plus 215. He doesn't score a lot of touchdowns. I get it. But I think tonight is his night to go off. And especially with Mike Evans back, give me Mr. Godwin to score a touchdown.
All right. Well, I was curious. I didn't put him up there, and I was like, I wonder if he goes off the board because you already have 40 on him. Why not just add on? I'm going to go to one. It might make you a little mad. Tyler Algier. He is the king of just these nasty touchdowns when Bijan Robinson should have it. He maybe got him all the way down to the two-yard line, sub him out, sub Tyler Algier at plus 240. I think that's a great sprinkle. That's the only reason I did it is if it had been plus 180, plus 150, probably not. But plus 2 something, I'm going to have to play it because Algier has scored on a regular basis this season. And he's just kind of just taken everything away from Bijan Robinson. When you need him the most, he always steals somehow, some way a touchdown.
Yeah, him and Zach Charbonnet just need to go to Mars or something to get out of the NFL. Like, I hate both of those guys. But yes, now as far as the look goes, hell of a good look. I do like that look.
Yeah, and I even have a play on his – I won't say what it is. You got to go to justthatsports.com to find it. But I got to play on Tyler Algier tonight. So maybe it's a double up of a touchdown, but also his blank. Yeah, I'm not.
You unloaded the clip on this game tonight. I saw. I looked at it just recently. There's like 4 or 5 plays from you on there. Well done.
Right. It's called me being a vulture. I'm taking all the shine tonight, just like last night. Somebody took all the shine. I have so many questions about what happened last night because I still don't believe it happened. We're talking about Survivor. All right, Robbie, why are they so stupid on Survivor?
I really don't know. Sophie B had the move of all moves. If she put it on Riz, took his idol,
right,
you win the game because that was a ballsy move, and you won. And I told you on the show, I think it was last week, this is what she needs to do, and it'll win her the game. And she does the complete opposite. Even had her grandmother, God rest her soul, in her ear saying, play the idol on Riz. And then you don't. Like, even if she makes it to Final 3, that jury is not going to take her seriously.
No, I think so. She was definitely one that I don't know how she wins at the game at this point. Like, you had a chance, and she's now kind of come up cold when she went after Steven's stuff and just struck out. Okay, so she can't win. So now, who is is it just the simple fact of we have Riz and Savannah just run the show now?
It's those two, and one of those two should deserve to win because they've played the better game. I would say Steven, if he was still there, would be another one that I think deserves the win because of what he overcome and how good he got at the end.
Yeah.
But that jury, I don't trust that jury. I feel like they're going to either pick their friend or pick somebody non-deserving. At least the only way Savannah and Riz wins is if Sophie B is in the Final 3 with them. If it's Christina or Sage, I don't see either two of them winning just because I think the jury's going to vote on feelings and not actual gameplay.
There's no way you can vote Christina. She has done nothing.
I know. I don't understand it.
Like, we're talking about Survivor Big Cheesy. Yes, this is the TV timeout section every Thursday. Everybody's trying to get us to get here, and then all of a sudden everybody went quiet about Survivor. I'm just so confused. Yes, it is the Survivor 10,145th episode or season. Sorry, seasons. No, I just, my thing was old girl. What's her name that pulled the backstab? God, what is her name?
Sophie.
No,
the other Sophie.
The other one, the other girl, the blonde. Sage.
Yeah.
What is she doing?
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't vote off Sophie B. They had the numbers. You knocked out their other alliance member. Now, Riz would have had to play his idol, or if he didn't play it, you could at least take out Savannah next episode. I don't get it. It made no sense. It was great television.
Great.
I'm a Riz God fan, so I want him to win. But it's stupidity. It's just stupid. It's $1 million.
Right.
So what if she brought you to eat some Mexican food? It's $1 million. Tough crap, man. Thanks for the meal, but I'm voting your ass out and taking the $1 million. I'll get you back on the other side.
That's the better game move. My thing was, I don't understand what Sage was doing. Like, I don't understand it. Like, why would she make that move? In my opinion, like, especially because it was it before they voted? She asked for Steven's stuff.
I think it was before they voted. Yeah.
So at that point, if it's before they voted, why didn't they just stop it? If it was like, if Sage like, hey, I'm gonna go, her and Christina, because Christina voted with her, right?
Yes, they all voted Steven off.
So if that happened, why, like, that was the plan, because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, that's the, hey, no matter what, we get somebody big home. We get them gone. But when Sophie does that, I think that's when you call a meeting real quick and say, hey, this is the chance to go after Sophie because she has nothing.
Right.
Were they afraid of the idol?
I guess. But, Riz ain't playing it for her. He would have played it for himself before he gave it to anybody else. So, I mean, I would have already known that in the back of my head just being around the kid.
And
so
worst case,
I don't understand.
And worst case, the other team is picking off Steven. They're not picking off Sage or Christina. Like, you literally have a shot. If you get blocked, then the other side goes after Steven. Like, they're not going after you. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I didn't understand last night. I was bumfuddled. I don't even know if that's a real word. I was taken aback from it because I was confused, because now there's no way. I don't think Sage wins unless it's like, hey, I'm picking a friend, but she has no friends on that thing.
She's got Jawan. That's about it. He'll pick for her to win because they're friends. But if you're a jury member, you got to look at that and say, these guys suck. I'm voting for the ones who actually played the game, whether I like them or not. But it's been fickle. The jury's been fickle the last few seasons. It seems like they just pick on feelings, which I'm not in their shoes. If somebody cost me $1 million, I probably wouldn't want to give them $1 million either. So, I get it. But as a watcher of the show, I would hope they would pick somebody who actually deserves it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, I am more confused when that happened, because when I saw that and Sophie came up, like, just struck out, I thought, she's gone. This is easy. That was the swing and a miss. And now the writing is on the wall. She knows she's gone. She thought she was gone. And then we wake up and look up, and Sage and Christina did a okey doke. I don't know.
How does that help their game either? Those three are just going to target them if they don't win immunity. It's going to be 3-on-2. So it doesn't even help them.
No. That does.
So nothing helped their case unless they're banking on Sophie flipping. If she didn't flip last night, she's not going to flip at this point.
But even if they do flip, they have to somehow win, and they have to beat both of them. They have to beat both Savannah and Riz in a competition.
You can beat Riz in a competition. That dude sucks at life when it comes to any kind of competition.
Right.
But Savannah is a beast.
She's a beast, and nobody's beating her. I don't care what Sage thinks. She's not beating her. And so at that point, if it's Sophie, cool. Like, maybe then. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I know you don't. I kind of get Sage's a little bit, because if Sage is thinking, all right, me, Christina, and Steven make this move, it's us three in the final. Everybody's going to see that Steven had the advantage. Everybody's going to know Steven's won the last few immunities. He's probably the more likable other than Jawan. She probably thought in her head, I can't beat him, which is, I get that. Honestly, I get that. I just think you should have just rolled the dice and tried to see if you could beat him in immunity or something. And then you just don't bring him along. You just don't let him come. You make him make fire or some crap and just don't bring him along. I think you should have took out Sophie, because at least then you got one of those three out. Yeah. And then you got the advantage 3-against-2. Riz has an idol. So really you just got to worry about beating Savannah, because Riz can't win immunity.
My issue at this whole thing is the path to her winning is not as good, because if for some reason Steven would have won immunity, then you're not having to then go against, Riz potentially or Sophie. But I guess in the end, she's thinking, hey, I'm going to have to beat Savannah no matter what. And so let me take out Steven, because I have a better chance. I have to somehow I got to beat Savannah no matter what. And so let me make it a little bit easier for me if I'm Sage. And then you can take out, because if she wins, if Savannah doesn't win the immunity, she's going home. I think that's understood.
Yeah, sure. Well, not anymore.
Riz could say, I could play my idol on her.
Well, and Sophie and Riz will vote with her, so they don't even have the numbers to do that anymore.
Yeah, Sophie would flip, though. I think Sophie would flip.
I think she should have took Christina's idol a long time ago if she was going to do. I don't think she's going to flip now. Like that was one of the top. That has to be a top 5 dumbest moves that a player could do. You held on to that all this time, didn't tell anybody. I wouldn't have even told them while they were eating. I never would have told anybody. I would have just kept it. And then you had Steven blabbering about what he had. He should have never told them either. I don't get why these people give up their weapons. Like I wouldn't tell anybody anything.
Well, I think that Steven felt good about because he knew he had to play it before, and so she wouldn't take it from him because once he got past it, he was good. He knew he was playing it the next time.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't know, man. I can't wait for 50 because you at least have some players that know how to play this game.
Yeah, these people are idiots.
Yeah.
So even Joe watched last night. He said, "I wish I'd watched the season because last night seemed nuts. It was nuts." Like if you'd have watched, you'd have even thought it was even more nuts if you'd have watched throughout the entire thing because what they did was very confusing. All right, but let's put
also you're welcome, CBS and Jeff Probst. We gave you another viewer last night, so you're welcome.
Lots of viewers coming here from Weekday Wagers. All right, put a bow on it. Who wins the game? Who finishes in top 3? You have 5 left, right?
Yeah, 5 left. Riz, Savannah, and Sophie.
So those 3 go together.
Yep.
Wow.
And I think I would have picked Christina to be like a GOAT that you just take with you because you don't think she'd win. But after Sophie's dumbass move last night, I think you take her and then you just point out she could have actually changed the game and she didn't.
Yep. 100%. She lost out. But I do want to bring this up because Nate G is the man. Bumfuddle. It's a synonym. Dumbfoozled, according to Google AI. I knew I was smart this whole time. Y'all didn't think so. All right. We did have some plays that came up in here into the chat, and I saw that the Penguins, I believe Taj likes them. Do you like, is it the Penguins? Money line?
Pittsburgh is playing Montreal, who's going to be starting a goalie tonight, Fowler. He's going to be making his first start tonight. Those make me nervous. Those really make me nervous because I've seen games where they literally pulled a guy of an accounting job and suited him up and he played and won a game. So that makes me nervous. It definitely makes me nervous. But Montreal's not very good on the road, so maybe there's something to it. It's a stay away for me, but yeah, rookie goalies making their first start. It is Crosby, but you don't have Malkin. You got some guys missing on Pittsburgh, so kind of makes me nervous.
Okay. Bijan over this longest reception. I believe that came in from Joe here. Yes. 15.5 longest reception. I like his number. I think 15.5 is fine. My issue is I'm already halfway there with 15.5. I feel confident that if he catches a 15, 14, 13 yarder, I'm going to be pissed. And so that's why I went with the receiving yards over the longest reception. You agree?
Agreed. 100% on that. I do like him in the receiving game a lot tonight.
All right. First touchdown from Scotty says Payne Durham plus 2,000. Whoever that is.
Is that your saloon shot, Scotty?
I don't even know who that is.
He clearly plays tonight. I got to see.
Do we know that though? I've never heard that name. Are we sure he plays?
He's the tight end 2 for Tampa.
Nice.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hate. The only problem is he's had no targets, and his last Oh no, this is versus Atlanta. I'm sorry, I was looking at Atlanta, not his overall. Even still, he has had 2 targets all this season.
Wow.
So that's definitely a saloon shot if there ever was one.
For sure. Boom Boom likes Baker for a tutter. I think it's at plus 600. And then the Danimal agreed. And shout out to Danimal. I hadn't seen him in a minute, but yes, Bucky there for a touchdown. I believe his was plus 125. I'm trying to see if I missed anything else before we get out of here. But yes, Cheesy says he's a big threat in the red zone. Otten's out.
Otten's out. Okay. Doink didn't have that. They just have it. They have him available. So that's why I didn't know. Okay. If Cotton is out, that is a solid look.
Yeah. All right. Well,
also, I know we're cutting it close, but it would be remiss if we didn't mention Michigan right now. Let's go this route. Who's their next head coach? We'll let Twitter do all the memes and jokes. Who's their next head coach?
I believe they have already contacted that person a week ago.
Okay.
From my understanding, they contacted who they wanted to go get like a week or so ago because they knew this was going down. He knew it was happening at some point, but I don't think he knew exactly what, because I saw a timeline that he finally caught wind of it that afternoon when he heard of a team meeting being called, and it was the team and the assistants, but not him. And that's when he went straight. I'm not sure what happened. I think he went to homegirl's house at that point and had some issues.
Yeah. He's clearly was not thinking straight at all during any of this, but especially last night with some of the stuff. If it's true that he pulled, that's just crazy.
And the reason that I believe, and it might be speculation, rumor, innuendo, I don't know, but they did it because it was potentially going to come out right before the signing day, right? Or the whatever it was. Yeah, signing day. So they held it off until after because of that.
If you're a recruit and this happens, and you know they had to know about it before signing day, but they didn't get it out because they wanted your signature on their school. If you're a recruit, how big of a middle finger are you giving to Michigan right now? Unless Michigan is like your school, I always want to play at Michigan, don't care. How big of a middle finger are you giving them right now to go anywhere else?
100% I'm leaving. 100%.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the way you can leave if there is, but honestly, this is just signing day. Like you can easily still leave, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to keep you there. It's just not as big of a, like a, I don't know, like an explosion right at the day or two before signing day where everybody like freaks out and flips. But I think they can still flip, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine you can, unless you sign. But with the transfer portal and everything now, I thought there was something where if your coach leaves, you have a window to where you can go elsewhere. Dude, they need a commissioner. College football is broken right now. It needs a commissioner. They need some rules in play. But even still, I hate Ohio State. Like if I put them beside each other, it was a little more hatred for Ohio State. But between this and the Connor Stallions BS, I'm to the point where I hate Michigan almost more than anybody at this point.
Yeah.
That is just a crap move. One, it's people's actual lives that's in play. But two, you're talking about high school kids that are trying to bank on their future, and then you pull this knowing what was happening.
Yeah. That's nuts. Boom Boom says you have 30 days.
Okay. So I'd be out the door yesterday. Bryce Underwood took Michigan out of his social medias now, so I'd imagine he's gone. Good job, Dave Portnoy. Way to waste all that money. That's another thing. I don't like Dave Portnoy either. So any of this happened with him, I think it's hilarious because he's annoying. Yeah,
he definitely is annoying. Joe asked, "Is this worse than what Harbaugh did?"
Well, if the stories are true about bringing a knife and kicking down somebody's door, yeah, it gets a little more personal. As far as the actual game, I don't think I think Harbaugh's is worse because you actually affected somebody's championships. If you're talking about real life, this is worse. If you're talking about just the game, Harbaugh.
Why would Harbaugh's be worse though?
Because he cheated. Everybody knows they cheated.
Right, but that was just the sign stealing stuff, right?
It was. I'm sure there was probably more just based on all this stuff. But yeah, okay. To me, game perspective, what Harbaugh did is worse because it affects the game. Real life, this dude should never coach again.
Oh yeah, he's definitely. I think he's cooked, as the kids say. But I think that if you look at what Harbaugh did, this dude, this same guy, was a part of that. Like he's the one that got a no-show clause as well. And when he signed his actual contract to be the head coach, he has legal, descriptions and terms in there that says he cannot be fired with cause due to that whole thing about the sign stealing, whatever. So at that point, you're talking about like, hey, he was already in trouble for that. He was part of that. And now he's making sure that he isn't going to be fired again because of that happening again. I don't know. It's stupid. It's crazy.
I know Lane Kiffin somewhere asking somebody, you mean this is illegal to do?
Right. Yes. He's going to be in trouble. If he starts losing, he's in trouble, especially there in LSU. They're going to come after him. All right. Well, that's enough of that. But yes, there is an issue there. Hopefully the dude gets help. He's in jail right now. We don't know what in the world is going to come out of it, but either way, that situation, dude, that guy is screwed for life because he lost a lot of money. Maybe he lost a family, potentially had other issues along the way. He definitely needs some help in his life, but
it was already bad. But I've seen coaches do worse than cheating on his wife with somebody, even if they're on staff. If he'd have just took a breath, just accept the punishment, wait it out, he would probably still have a chance to coach again.
Yeah.
He's killed all that now.
No.
Now you don't get your money from your contract because they have cause. You lose that. And now your wife's going to take half and you're going to be in jail for a minute because of the dumb things you did.
Yep. Crazy. Well said. All right. Tonight's game should be fun overall. And so we'll make sure we're dialed in for sure. And yes, if Mama Hockey needs a voodoo doll of Lane Kiffin, we'll help her get one. We know some people in New Orleans.
You think I hate hard? She hates even harder, especially when it's talking about Lane Kiffin. I get it, honest.
Yeah, I feel you. All right. Well, we have more content coming out. We'll have our show tomorrow, our full Friday show, as well as the Robbie's Radar. Those shorts are coming out this afternoon. We put out 2 already. There should be 2 more coming out tonight. So check them out and do us a favor. Hit the like on that. Hit the like on this if you don't mind. If this is your first time watching us, thank you. We're here every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll continue to be here all the way through. I think it's the day or two before. I think it's the day before Christmas. And then we're going to take off a few days during that time. We'll share that information in a little bit when we get closer. But Mark's about to go on vacation here in about a week or so, however long it is. And so we have some things that are changing, but stay tuned. We might have some surprise guests along the way. You never know. But for Robbie, I am DG. Thank you all for hanging out with us. It's been a fun show. You all make our day better here in the chat. Hopefully we're the best part of your day, but we'll see you tomorrow. Do not miss the show. See you then.